bittersweet day, but more sweet than anything else. Steve Yzerman has elected to move on with a new role with the organization. We're thrilled that he's staying with us. And we're also thrilled that Julian BriseBois is going to be the 7th general manager in the history of the Lightning. We're thrilled to have him in that position. So I do have a few comments to make, but I'd like Steve and then Julian to make a few comments. Then I'll say a few words, and then we'll take some questions.
Okay, well, first off, I appreciate you all coming down today. Just a regular day, 2 days before training camp starts. That was a joke.
Tough crowd.
Yes, yeah, trust me, I know. I'd like to start by saying I'm very excited, as Jeff alluded to, my role changing to serve as senior advisor to Julian BriseBois, as well as the entire hockey operations department and the entire organization as well. I feel this change in role is important for me, which will allow me to spend more time with my family, and it also ensure that the Tampa Bay Lightning are managed to the standards that Jeff, all of us, everyone that works in this organization and is associated with this organization has come to expect. We are all delighted that Julian is our next general manager. He is more than ready and deserves the opportunity and has earned that. Julian and I have worked together since I came into the organization. He served as the assistant general manager as well as the manager of the first the Norfolk Admirals and then the Syracuse Crunch, and has done an outstanding job in managing our minor league team, not only to have successful seasons, including 2 trips to the finals, the Calder Cup finals, and 1 Calder Cup championship in Norfolk. He has oversaw what we consider a very good development program in Syracuse by hiring outstanding coaches, putting in place a proper program that ensured that our prospects that were playing in the American League developed to the best of their capabilities. In the 8 years we've been together, Julian and I have worked closely on every decision that we've made, every situation, our philosophies about how an organization should be run, the type of team we want, the type of players, the type of people we want are all very aligned. So it's with real pleasure, again, that I turn the microphone over to Julian, our new general manager. He's going to do a fantastic job, and I look forward to working with him.
Thank you. First off, I would like to thank you, Jeff, for this amazing opportunity you're affording me. For your support throughout this process and for the support I know you will continue to provide me and our team as we go forward here. I'd also like to thank you, Steve, for hiring me 8 years ago, for bringing me to Tampa and allowing me to grow as a hockey executive right there along your side. I'd like to thank you for the leadership you've provided our hockey group over the years and the leadership that I know you will continue to provide us. More importantly, I'd like to thank you for your friendship. Of all of the great things that have happened to me since I came here to Tampa, your friendship is what I value most, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
To all the stakeholders of the Lightning, I would like to start by reassuring you that once we are done with this announcement, it will be business as usual for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Camp opens on Thursday. We have a lot of work to do to get ready for the start of the season. Everyone knows what their job is and what they need to do starting on Thursday, I guess, and that's what everyone will be doing. So everyone's responsibilities will remain the same. The mission is also going to be the same, and that mission is to win the Stanley Cup. And I assure you that everything will be done and nothing will be neglected in our pursuit of the Cup. That doesn't change. That remains the same. And I'm very confident that eventually we are going to win this Cup. And we are going to bring it here, and we will be successful. And I'm confident, and I believe we're going to be successful because we have an owner that is committed to winning, that's committed to having a world-class organization, and to providing us all the necessary resources. Also, I believe we're going to be successful because we've assembled an excellent staff of great people that do very good work, and I'm including our players in that. And everyone is committed to this common goal of winning the Cup. Everyone is in it to win it, and you can feel it when you're around the team. What's the plan? Well, the plan is the same plan Steve and I have been working on the last 8 years. The plan remains the same, and the people executing the plan remain the same. It's the same people. Steve and I kind of reverse roles a little bit, but everything else remains the same. What does that mean in the short term? Well, right now it means make sure we have a really good camp, working with John Cooper and his staff to make sure and help the players realize their potential, help the team realize its potential. It means continuously looking for opportunities for us to be better than we were last year, whether it's management, coaches, players. It means staying on the lookout for opportunities to add a player that might help our team take a step forward. That's the plan in the short term. If we take a longer-term view, I believe that player development is of paramount importance in today's NHL. If you want to have sustained success, you need to do a great job drafting and developing players. It's the only way you can accumulate a critical mass of good players that will allow you to compete for the cup year in, year out. So therefore, our approach to building the team through drafting and player development will also remain the same. So a lot of things are staying the same, I guess, other than our titles. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to mention that as I start working as general manager of this very special organization, it brings me great comfort to know that I can count on the support of Steve Yzerman, of John Cooper, Pat Verbeek, Al Murray, Stacey Roost, Benoit Groux, everyone in our hockey ops department. We've assembled a great staff. Their great work is what's allowed us to build a team that is within striking distance of the Stanley Cup. And I know that going forward, their continued contributions will play an important role in us eventually winning it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Julian, for those comments. And Julian, congratulations.
Thank
you.
you.
We are thrilled. I'm thrilled to have you here. I've had the opportunity to make 4 major hiring decisions over the last 8 or 9 years, and they all have something in common. When I hired Todd Leiweke to be CEO back, again, almost 9 years ago, I had no doubt he was the right person for the job. I had 100% confidence in him. When I hired Steve Yzerman, again, no doubt, 100% confidence. 3 years ago, when Todd Leiweke decided to leave the team, Steve Griggs took over. Again, that was a no-brainer decision for me. I was absolutely sure it was right for this organization. And here we are with the fourth transition, or the 4th new hire that I'm responsible for. Once again, just like the others, I am 100% confident that Julian BriseBois is the right candidate and the right person to lead the Tampa Bay Lightning. Julian is extremely well-rounded, very smart, very experienced, far more experienced in management than Steve was when he took over the position 8-9 years ago. I mean, Julian's been with the Lightning for 8 years and was with Montreal for 9 years before that. 17 years. We're so fortunate that another team in the league hasn't taken him before this point, that we have this opportunity to have Julian as our GM. And importantly, Julian knows all facets of the business. He and Steve have worked right next to each other, picking players, working on contracts, free agencies, doing trades together, working on the salary cap, understanding that, all aspects of the game, and managing. Again, Julian has had great success with Norfolk, where we won a Calder Cup, with Syracuse, and before that with Montreal's farm teams, where they also won a championship. So well-rounded. He's done all aspects of the job. He's progressive. He is 100% fully prepared for this opportunity, and I have no doubt that he's going to do a terrific job. Steve, again, I'm so happy that you're going to continue to be part of the organization. I think that's tremendous for all of us. I look forward to continuing to talk hockey with you. How lucky have I been the last 8 or 9 years? I get to talk hockey with Steve Yzerman, and he's an incredible person. He makes it seem like I know more about hockey than he does. That is not the case. And Julian knows a lot more about hockey than I do, too, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Steve, again, we're so thankful for the whole organization you put together here. I respect your decision. I understand your decision. And frankly, you're making the right decision for yourself and your family. So I applaud your decision. And thank you for continuing to keep a role with us and helping us, as our objective, as Julian said, is to win the Stanley Cup. Lastly, as long as I'm in charge here, and nobody can fire me, maybe my wife can, but nobody else can fire me, This organization is going to continue to try to be a world-class, on and off the ice. I'm going to provide every resource, both to the business side, to the hockey side, so that we can achieve those goals. We want to be one of the best teams in hockey year in and year out and have opportunities to win the cup, and we want to win the cup, hopefully sooner rather than later. So nothing is changing in terms of the way I think about our organization or the way these gentlemen are going to go about their job. We feel like we're in a great spot going forward. We're very pleased where it is, and we think we have the right people to lead the organization. Steve Griggs on the business side, Julian on the hockey side. So once again, thank you all for your attention today, and we're happy to take any questions.
Please raise your hand if you have a question and state your outlet and name.
Tom Jones, Tampa Bay Times. Steve, how long have you been contemplating this decision, and why 2 days before the start of training camp?
Well, over the course of the last couple of years, there's been moments or periods of time to reflect and think about my situation, I guess, what I want to do. And then ultimately this summer, when the season ended, when we got our season-ending business taken care of, it was time for Jeff and I to sit down and talk about my future, my contract specifically. I had some time to think about it. Once all our work was done, and just what do I want to do, what do I need to do, and at some point later in July, prior to Jeff and I meeting, I came to the decision that this is what I want to do, and it's taken us from that meeting to work out the details, a lot of the details on what our next steps were for that to come to today, and ultimately why 2 days before training camp. We felt it was important to let everyone know what we're doing, and any potential speculation, we have a plan here, and we've come up with a plan. We like our plan, and let's put that in place, and let's not wait any further. Specifically, we want to get it done prior to training camp starting. 2 days before really has no specific. It's taken us to get to this point, but we collectively decided, we know what we're doing, let's do it, let's announce it, let's get it out of the way, let's get focused on the season.
Joe, go ahead.
Steve, Just Smith, The Athletic. You mentioned the plan several times. How long do you plan on being in this role as you transition to it?
Well, my role, I'm excited about the upcoming season. We have a very good team. Our goal is to try and win a Stanley Cup. We all know how difficult that is. I was the manager for 8 years. I'm pleased with I'm proud of what we were able to build. I'm disappointed we haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. We're going to play this year, and after that, I don't know.
Ryan, go ahead.
I've asked CBS Tampa, do you want to be here long term, or is there a possibility of you going to a different organization?
As I said, I'm in the role I'm in, 100% committed this year. We're going to do everything we can to win as successful a season as possible beyond this year. I don't have an answer for you.
Steve and I have discussed this. He wants to try it out for the year. I would love for him to stay beyond one season. At the end of the year, we'll sit down, and if he enjoyed his new role, then obviously I would be more than happy if he were to stay on board with us.
Eric Rollinson from LightningInsider.com. I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning power player. Julian, big shoes to fill, obviously, with Steve and what he's accomplished here in his 8 years. What are the biggest challenges you see, not beyond this year, and we all know the expectations for this year, but beyond this year, what are the biggest challenges you see in maintaining this sort of success you guys have had?
The biggest challenge probably will be managing the salary cap, getting our players to continue to buy into our program and sign contracts that work for us so that we can keep them and keep this team that's going, this cycle that's going well right now. Not quite there yet. Like I said, we're within striking distance. Try to keep that going for as long as possible. Most of our core players, pretty much all of them, are still pretty young. They're either entering their prime or they're right smack in the middle of their prime. So the challenge will be to keep it going forward. And the other thing too, you mentioned the success that Steve's had as general manager. Obviously, now usually you get a GM job and you're building something. You're laying the foundations. in my case, it's more about putting on the finishing touches. And it's a lot more work for a smaller increment of improvement that we're looking for at this point. So I think for our organization, that's the focus, that we're going to have to work even harder than we've been working just to be incrementally better so that we give ourselves that much more of a chance of winning the Stanley Cup.
Steve, kind of a two-parter here. Just give us an idea over the years how much of a strain that's been for you to kind of be long distance with family, and then moving forward, what your actual presence will be here from a day in, day out basis.
Well, 8 years really has flown by. I have done a lot of traveling, and it has worked. I feel I've been able to do the job, be where I need to be, as well as be where I need to be for my wife and daughters. At this point now, I have to make a decision again. At some point, it's either sign another contract to be the general manager or remain as a general manager or not. And with some time to reflect, to do the job the way it needs to be done, the way I feel it needs to be done, and ultimately to be with my family as well. It's becoming difficult to do, and hence the decision. And sorry, the second part of your question?
Moving forward, how present will you be in the building?
Haven't exactly figured that out yet, but I will be here. I will be wherever I'm needed to be for Julian. Julian is now the general manager. He will exercise is responsible for all the duties that a general manager traditionally is, and the way it's been for us. And I will be wherever I'm needed when needed.